Shalom, I am Prophet Jonathan Bridges, and welcome to Building Bridges, where we not only desire to build people, but to build myself in the things of Yahweh, and to build bridges or connections to people all over the world. I want to start this one off by saying happy belated Mother's Day to the mothers out there, starting with my wife, Yvette Bridges. Happy Mother's Day to you.
Thank you.
Also to my mother, Darlene Bridges, happy Mother's Day to you. And to my other mama, Enix Leonard, happy Mother's Day to you. And again, this is going out to all of the mothers that's out there, and even those that are no longer with us. We say happy Mother's Day to you, and we appreciate everything that you have imparted onto your children, and we bless you. Well, today we are still dealing with why you so thirsty. You see the face right there? Why you so thirsty? And this is part 4. And as we set off in this quest, in this message, we were dealing with Samson, and we're still in that vein. And what we were utilizing Samson for was that he was an embodiment of a situation. And when we think about an embodiment, we think about a physical entity typifying an abstract construct. So what is this abstract construct or concept? It's the fact that he is thirsty. Come on here. And this is an embodiment of what we're all going through. There's something inside of us that we're thirsty, right? There's something inside of us that we're desperate. There's something inside of us that says that we're lonely. And when we left off in the last message, we were dealing with the fact that the rabbit hole started to get deeper. It went from thirstiness tied into loneliness, tied into desperation. And we know that desperation meant that it was going to start to compromise who we were, compromise our integrity, compromise all these things that's inside of us. And as it slid further down into that rabbit hole, we found out that thirstiness and desperation was also equivalent to starvation. And starvation led us into a term of malnutrition. And when we defined malnutrition last time, what it meant was that we had a lack of proper nutrition caused by not having enough to eat. So the problem that we're dealing with, that Samson was dealing with, and that we as a people are dealing with, is that we lack proper nutrition, meaning that you're always wanting and that you're always empty. So a problem that a lot of us have is either we're thirsty and we're full of something, that something might not be the right thing, or we're empty, come on here, and we're satisfying a thirst. Think about that for a second. Some of us are satisfying this thirst, and I'm not talking about in a positive way, meaning that you're dehydrated and you done got a glass of water. No, we're satisfying thirst that we're not supposed to be satisfying. Come on here. And the reason we're doing that is because we're empty. We're malnutrition. We lack the proper nutrition. And I'm speaking to not only those people that's in the secular world, but I'm speaking also to the people that are in the church right now. If you're sitting in a church right now and you're not being fed the proper nutrition, you have to think and consider, do I need to make a move to a place, come on here, where Yahweh is, and that you can get the proper nutrition? I'm speaking to friends. I'm speaking to family members. You know who you are out there. If you sitting in the house right now that you're not eating the proper food and you're not getting food, period, while you in there. Okay. All right. Something to think about. So I want to move on to talking about a dream that I had 2 weeks ago. And I was going to share it in the last message, but I felt like it wasn't going to fit like a proper puzzle in that time. But the dream that I had, which I feel is very fitting for now, I had a dream that I was on a bus, and it was full of people, and in the back of the bus, there was some guys back there that they weren't quite my enemies. As a matter of fact, I'm going to say that they weren't my enemies. I didn't have a problem with them. But there was one particular guy, for some reason, him and I felt like we needed to spar with each other. So instantly, as I go in and the battle engages between me and this guy, I go quickly for a choke move, and I'm just choking. I'm putting everything I got into it. But for some reason, I could not choke this guy out. And that was pretty much the end of the dream. And I woke up that morning, I had to ask Yahweh, what does this dream mean? And the Spirit gave me part of the revelation last week and then gave me the other part of the revelation this week. And what the interpretation, the revelation of that dream is that a lot of times that we tackle situations utilizing our own strength. And when our strength is empty, come on here, we won't be able to overtake what it is that we're actually supposed to be overtaking. So that was the interpretation I got last week. But then the Spirit gave to me this week also to add to that the problem that we're having right now in our lives because of thirstiness, because of desperation, because of loneliness. There are certain relationships that we have in our life that situation suggests that we need to kill it. Come on here. There's an activity that's in your life. There's a relationship in your life. There's a situation in your life. Come on here that you need to kill. And I'm not only speaking to everybody else, I'm speaking to myself too. There are things that we are friendly with. Remember, I said in the dream, I didn't have a problem with this guy, but there are things that we are connected to that we're just playing with. And Yahweh is saying you playing with that and you should kill that. And the reason that I'm saying that this is tying into the message is because this is what Samson dealt with. The problem he had was that he kept playing with a situation, and that situation for him was that he was playing with women. Come on here. He was a womanizer. So his thirstiness, his desperation, his loneliness caused him to keep playing with a woman. But he should have been killing this situation that he had with women. But what ended up happening ultimately in his life is that he ended up becoming blinded. Come on here. Physically blinded because he didn't kill that situation. So now you got to ask yourself, what is this situation in my life that I have become friends with? What is this relationship in your life that you have become friends with and you haven't killed that part of that situation or that friendship? What is this activity that you haven't killed? See, I was handling a situation that I would normally handle with my own strength, like I said, which was empty. Samson was handling a situation with Delilah the way he always handles situations. He handled it empty. So when you're empty, as I said, you have no strength. But when you have the kingdom inside of you, come on here, somebody, put a like down in the comments. Come on here, put a like down in the comments. When you have the kingdom inside of you, come on here, you're strong. When you have religion, come on here, you fall for anything. You fall for any situation. You fall for anyone. Come on here. It doesn't matter what it is, you're constantly falling. But when you have the kingdom of Yahweh inside of you, you stand up for what's right. Yeah. Are you listening to what I'm saying? Come on here, put a like down in the comments if you're watching this, and I know you're liking it. It looks just like this. Hit that button at the bottom. So you're empty. This is the problem that you have. Either you're thirsty and you full of something, and in the world, you know what they say, you know you full of it. Y'all know where I'm going with that. Well, because some of y'all are so religious, I'm not going to say what I want to say right now. But some of y'all full of something. Come on here. Y'all full of something. You full, but you full of something. And that's the problem. If you really look at that in a spiritual sense, one of the things that my wife deals with is that she deals with health. She deals with women's health and men's health also. And a lot of us as my wife has educated me to is that we're compacted. Can I look at you behind the camera, baby? She gave that to me. She said that you're compacted. And when you're compacted spiritually, that means that you're clogged up and you're full of something. That's something heavy right there. And then on the other end of that spectrum, as I said, you could be empty and satisfying the thirst negatively. So let's move on. I want to show you something that Yahshua was talking about on how he spoke about emptiness. If you will, please follow me to Matthew chapter 12, 43 through 45. And I'm not going to do what I normally do, keep pausing and saying we're at scripture 44, read along with me, please, and stick with me. My bricklayers, come on here. And my constituents, come on here. My counterparts that's out there, that's part of the body, stick with me. Matthew 12, 43 through 45. And it reads, Yahshua is saying this. And I'm sure a lot of my Bible scholars, bricklayers, you're familiar with these passages of scriptures. When the unclean spirit is gone out of a man, he walketh through dry places, seeking rest, and findeth none. Then he saith, I will return into my house from whence I came out. And when he is come, he findeth it empty. Look at that. Swept. Look at that. And garnished. Then goeth he, and taketh with himself 7 other spirits more wicked than himself, and they enter in and dwell there. And the last state of that man is worse than the first. Even so shall it be unto this wicked generation. Look at this. Are you listening to what Yahshua is talking about? He's talking about an unclean spirit in the scriptures. And it said that he went and walked through dry places. Come on, and he found no rest. So this is the problem that a lot of us are having right now when it deals with our thirstiness. Yahshua said that that spirit came back and found a place empty. Come on here. What were we talking about? Being thirsty, being malnutrition. Come on here, being in a place of starvation. Are you listening to me? He said he found it empty, swept, and garnished. Now I looked at those 3 words right there, and as y'all know, I like to break words down into what the definition or the Hebrew or the Greek of those words were. And when I looked at those 3 particular words, I said to myself, why did Yahshua say that it was empty, swept, and garnished? Well, let's start with empty to begin with. He said that he find it empty. And by definition, we find out that empty means that it's lacking in reality. Oh, lacking in substance. Whoa, right. Lacking in meaning and lacking in value. So when the enemy leaves out and he comes back, he sees, come on here, those of us that's stuck in religion right now, those that's stuck in our thirstiness, desperation, and loneliness right now. This emptiness means that you are lacking reality on the inside of you. You're lacking substance on the inside of you. You're lacking meaning on the inside of you, and you're lacking value. So when you're lacking these things, it puts you in a place, come on here, where that you allow the enemy to come in and feel that, as I said, you're full of something. So the enemy came back and said, since this is empty, I'm going to come back and fill it with something. So what's the opposite of these things that I just named? Meaning that he's going to fill it back up with what? A false reality. Those of us that are walking in a religious mind and a Christian, Christian type mind, mindset, saying that, my mama lived this way, my granddaddy and my grandmama lived this way, so I'm going to live this way. So when you're stuck in religion, you're caught and stuck, you're stuffed with a false reality. You're stuffed with substance, but not the substance of Yahweh, not the substance of the Holy Spirit, not the substance of Yahshua. And look at this. It says that you lack meaning. So when you lack meaning, come on here. If you don't give yourself a definition, come on here. The enemy is sure going to come in and give you a meaning of his own. Are you listening to what I'm saying? So the enemy is saying that if you can't define what this is that's going on in your life, I'm going to give it definition. And not only am I going to give it definition, come on here, just like a TV, when it talks about HD, I'm going to put it in high definition. So when you're walking around, you're going to be a manifestation, come on here, of somebody who is full, come on here, of the wrong substance. Come on here. And you're going to be empty, meaning that there's not going to be any value. So he's saying that the enemy is saying that I am going to give you a lower value. Look at this. It also means when you're empty, a sense of emptiness is relating to a feeling of hopelessness. Come on here. How many of us out there feeling hopeless? Loss of pleasure and interest in the things you once enjoyed. Come on here. How many have been in that place? I've been there before. I can admit it to you. It says also feeling of low self-worth and little motivation, feelings such as depression, numbness, and detachment. So it's like something is missing on the inside of you. So this is what Yahshua is talking about when the enemy comes back, is he's saying that you're empty, meaning, come on here, you're lacking the reality of what Yahweh is trying to show you right now. You're missing something down on the inside of you. So like I said, either you're going to be thirsty or you're going to be hungry. Is that what I said to you? But didn't Yahshua say to us in the book of John, come on here, he said that I am the bread of life. Oh, is somebody listening to me right now? Come on here. I'm giving you some tools right now to help you with that emptiness. Yahshua said that I am the bread of life. And watch this. He said, you shall never hunger, and he that believeth on me, he shall never thirst. So look at this. So what Yahshua is saying, we need to get rid of that emptiness that's down on the inside of us now and realize, come on here, that he is the bread of life. This is the reason that we take communion. Come on here. When he broke it and gave us, come on here, part of his body, he was saying that I know that you're empty. I know that you're in a place of lack in reality. I know that you feel like you're hopeless, that you have no value. But here, my son, come on here, my brothers, my sisters, I'm saying to you right now, this bread that I give to you is going to connect you back to Yahweh and to what Yahweh is doing right now. It's going to connect you back to a community meaning the kingdom of Yahweh. Is going to connect you back to those things again. And he said, those that believe in me, come on here, he said that you shall never thirst also. Look at this. So Yahshua is saying, I'm not solving one problem, I'm solving two problems. I don't want you to walk around thirsty no more. I don't want people saying, why is he and why is she so thirsty? What they're going to see is a person, come on here, who has the proper nutrients inside of them. And not only have the proper nutrients, come on here, they're going to be full of, come on here, moisture. When you're full of moisture, that means that there's growth. Come on here. That means that there's life. Come on here. When I pinch your skin, it pop back. Come on here. That means that there's elasticity. Yahweh is saying to us right now, my daughters, come on here, my friends, my family, my bricklayers out there, I want to put you in a place that you have enough to eat. Yes. Come on here. I want to put you in a place that you have enough to drink. Whew, somebody drop a flame right now in the comments, because I think it's some fire up in here right now. So let's move on. He said, not only do you find it empty, the enemy finds it empty, it says that he finds it swept. So when I looked at that word swept, I had to look at it, what it meant in the Greek, it meant to brush off. And when you brush something off, by definition, I found out that it means a rejection or dismissal in which someone is treated as unimportant. So what does that mean in this situation? So when the devil or the enemy come on here, or that evil spirit comes back into your life and he finds you empty, he finds the fact that you done brushed these situations off. And think about it. When you use a feather duster and you dusting something off, you ain't doing nothing but moving dust from one spot to another. So the enemy, when he comes back, he's like, oh, okay, I see he brushed this off, but look, it's still laying right here. Come on here. He still got these issues and these problems. Come on here. He's still lonely. He's still hopeless. Come on here. He just swept. He just brushed it off. I'm gonna be all right. I'm just hopeless, a little bit hopeless right now. I'm gonna be all right. I just got a little depression and numbness in me right now. I'm gonna be all right. But the enemy is saying, oh, contraire, my moon frere, I am going to take all of this little dust that you done heaped up, come on here, that you done brushed off, and I am going to pile that up, and I am going to build that thing back up into something that I can use. Thank you for giving me a cushion to rest on the inside of you. Come on here, what you say, baby? HD. Come on here, HD. What's the HD, baby? Come on here. He's finna bring it to the forefront. Oh, my goodness. Y'all hear that? Whew. As always, the spirit was about to get heated up. Oh, my goodness. So I hope you enjoyed this video. This is part 4. Once again, as I said, I'm going to keep giving you little bites and keep giving you nuggets. And we're going to come back next week and we're going to dig more deeply into what we were talking about with brushing off. Come on here. As I said to you as an encouragement, don't forget Yahshua said to you, for your tools in the end of this part of this message, part 4 right now, 4 representing creation. I almost forgot about that. Come on here. Yahshua is saying, I want to create in you right now a clean heart. He's saying, I want to create in you the fact that you're not going to hunger as long as you in me. Come on here. I want to create in you, come on here, the fact that you're never thirsty again. So hold on to that. All of those who feel empty, all of those who feel lonely, all of those who feel depressed, come on here. All of you that feel numb, come on here. Whatever it is that you're going on the inside of you that you're wrestling with right now, just realize, come on here, that Yahshua came to connect you back to the body. And if you enjoyed this message, as always, I only ask that you do one thing, is that you pass it on to somebody else that you feel needs this message. Be the salt of the earth. Come on here. Please be the salt of the earth. Come on here and pass this demonstration on. And I'm glad you stayed all the way to the end, because at the very end of this, as the credits close out, I want you to keep watching and keep listening. A very good brother of mine, Aaron Peanut Smith the third. Come on here. He the third. Come on, got the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit in him. He sang something and he sent it to me a couple days ago, just out of nowhere, out of the blue, and sang something very short. And I thought it was so powerful. Don't get so caught up. Come on here. And we don't know this song, but what he's singing in this short song is powerful. I want y'all to really listen to that at the end. Shout out to you, Aaron. I really bless you, brother, because I believe that tied into where I was going today. Close your eyes and meditate on the words that he's singing at the end. Family, I love you. I appreciate you. Bless Yahweh, bless Yahshua, and the Ruach HaKodesh. Shalom. Whew.
And everybody wants wants to be touched every now and again, and everybody wants to feel like they're loved. Everybody wants to be closer to free. Everybody one, everybody two, everybody three. And everybody wants to feel like they belong, and everybody seeking a thrill. Sometimes everybody wants to feel closer to free, closer to free.